Hi there, I'm Bailey Drew, and this is the story of my life. This isn't the full extent of my life, this is mainly just the sort of highlights from basically from my really early childhood to basically the midpoint. There's nothing from high school or anything like that, because I couldn't find any footage from that. I mean, I probably could, but it would just take too bloody long. There's all sorts of stuff, so... From me to you, this is the beginning of the documentary and beginning of my life. Thank you very much.
Into the world 6 weeks early. Always very placid, very quiet, little bit withdrawn, very safe and happy in the company of his immediate family. Not really go out too much with other children of his own age, just our own family members that, you know, they were the same sort of age, my nieces, etc. He was always happy to play on his own, usually adopted the same position, very fascinated with wheels and putting everything in lines, quite uniform with the way he used to play with things. He would be in this little world really mainly most of the time. I didn't really take much notice of it, I just thought he was quite happy playing on his own. Things only really became quite difficult when he started going to reception in primary school.
I remember when I was younger, whenever I used to get upset, I always used to burst into anger. But as I got older, it seems to have led to anxiety problems, where my heart will go mad. I think the most recent problem I have suffered has definitely got to do with girls. They just don't seem to get me, and I don't get them either.
It's quite difficult to get him organised in the morning. There'd be quite a lot of screaming, etc. He never liked buttons, he didn't like zips, didn't like any high-pitched sounds. Seemed to get himself a little bit stressed with certain things that I didn't really understand were an issue for him. He always had issues with his coordination, so he was referred to an OT when he was about 4. Then did some work with an OT at Ranch House. Didn't really have any friends that I can remember. My daughter was always the one with lots of friends around. He didn't seem to. When he was about 5, he started to kind of become quite agitated. The years seemed to sort of go on with quite a few struggles with learning difficulties. He did sort of go onto School Action and School Action Plus, so he could have a bit more support with reading and writing especially. I think I knew that there was something going on with him, but I didn't really understand quite what. He was very different from my daughter. He was always very effervescent and bubbly, and seemed to like being with other people her own age, whereas Bailey was very much comfortable in his own company and play on his own for long periods of time.
So you and this... To some, Bailey's room may seem like a mess, but it is compacted with things he dares not throw away. You will have to ask him why he has 2 rooms.
Eventually, through going through loads of different hoops, we did eventually get involved in Children's Social Services and got him a diagnostic report. So when he was 12, he got diagnosed with being on the autistic spectrum. Hard word to say, put my teeth in. Mainly aspergers. So that was very, very difficult. He started to grow up and be a bit more mature and a bit more self-aware, and he's just blossomed into this amazing character who's got so much enthusiasm for the things that he enjoys and a lot of optimism about the future, which is amazing. There's been a lot of issues at college with him just walking off, absconding, but on the whole, with support, etc., that we've got, and working with Turning Tides, which is a media and music project, he has started to meet other people his own age. So now being 18, he's a young man, An amazing young man, just a pleasure to be with, really intense and articulate, and he's also got a sense of humour which doesn't kind of correlate with his condition really. However, so that's it really. There's a lot more to say, but it kind of has to be kept quite short. He just amazes me every day. Great kid, and just tuned in a little bit different, that's all. I wouldn't change him for anything. Thank you.
So that was it. So that was the most of my life there, wrapped in a wrap shell for all you guys to see. I hope you learned something new. As I say, it hasn't been exactly easy. Like, I've gotten better at talking to the camera. I noticed that thing. I think I'm pretty much settled at what I want to do now. Sometimes I'm unsure, sometimes I'll stay unmotivated, but most of the time I'm pretty much alright. I'll get on and I'll do stuff. But I might have my on and off days, but generally I'm generally quite happy now. I've got backlash from the past and all sorts of stuff, but doing stuff that I love and meeting people that I like, it's really just transformed me into a much sort of more broadened person. So I thank you for watching this. I hope I haven't rambled on for too long. I might cut it.